nivel de desinterés, de irresponsabilidad que manejás, yo no lo entiendo.
Ya sé, capo de la puntualidad.
5 para que correr.
Es lo mismo, mandan 5 y 10. Igual te ponen tarde. No te van a poner más tarde.
En general no se saca boleto para subirse a un tren.
En general, pero si sabes dónde subirte, no.
Buenas.
Vamos un rato fuera. Sí, papá no dijo nada. Papá nunca dijo nada.
Y no es asunto mío cuando estás solo, pero cuando estás con los chicos, yo 1000 veces te pedí consideración. No sé qué mierda pensás.
¿Papá se va a pelear? Nada. Siempre se hacen los que sí, pero después no pasa nada.
A Guille le apareció una muy buena oportunidad en Paraguay con su familia y decidimos que nos vamos a ir a vivir a Asunción.
¿Los chicos? ¿Todos?
Y sí.
¿Así sin avisar?
¿Nos vamos a vivir a Paraguay con mamá?
Sí, parece que allá van a vivir en un lugar mucho mejor.
¿Vos querés, pa?
Documentos, por favor.
También están acá las 3 criaturitas. ¿Qué hora es? Las 4.
¿Es seguro que nos vamos? Papá me dijo que si yo quería me podía quedar acá con él. Yo no voy. No sé si voy a poder.
Welcome to Cine Latino en Casa, Cine Latino at Home, October 15th to the 22nd, a unique program of the newest award-winning Spanish and Portuguese language films from all over the globe, presented by the MSP Film Society, the regional exhibitor of international independent cinema since 1963, and the presenter of the International Film Festival, the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Film Festival, that is going to celebrate the 40th anniversary in 2021, and of course, year-round programming of international films and authors. We know you will enjoy the show, available virtually this year through mspfilm.org, and hope you can spread the word. In this year of great change and uncertainty, your engagement is more important than ever, providing critical support to your favorite non-profit arts organization and to artists, communities, and cultures reflected in the stories told. Again, thank you, obrigado, muchas gracias. Before we start, I want to remind the people who are watching us through the Zoom and YouTube channel that you can submit your questions, and we'll ask our STEAM guests those questions. Just a reminder, especially for the viewers in Minnesota, that the festival still go on until Thursday, the 22nd. Tomorrow, we will be announcing our encore presentations, and so stay tuned for those. But make sure that you have time to catch up, and still passes and tickets are available, and it's a good deal for this year. And I think that is it for now. So let's go to our fantastic friends and filmmakers. Bienvenidos, welcome Ana Garcia Blasha, director and writer, and Joaquin Borges, the producer of this delightful film, The Good Intentions, Las Buenas Intenciones, from Argentina, the beaut feature. Hola.
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 Hola, Eve. Hello, everyone.
Thank you for inviting us to the Cine Latino at home. So, thank you for inviting us to our home with you.
I like that. We're home to home here. So we have to apologize because we were expecting to have some of the young actresses, but unfortunately like, these days things get sometimes a little bit complicated, and they had a bit of a scheduling conflict, and they cannot make it. So sorry for that, but I assure you that Anna and Joaquin will be amazing. So las buenas intenciones, the good intentions. There is this saying that the paradise or hell are paved by good intentions.
Hell.
Hell.
The road to hell is
paved. It's paved by good intentions.
Yeah.
And I always, whenever we talk about this film, and I have to describe it, I said, you know what? There are no villains. It's just life. Life is sometimes gets into our lives. It's just things that happen that, everybody's cool, everybody's loving, everybody's, is nice a person, but things happen. Anna, tell us a little bit about the genesis of the good intentions, because we know that far we know it is, a little bit based on your own.
A little bit. Yes, I wrote this script 10 years ago when I didn't imagine that this will be a movie, and I put everything on it. I put my point of view, not the whole true. My true is my point of view, but is strong for my mother, for example. But I wrote it, and I was very happy with the result. But lo guardé. I put it.
You kept it.
Yeah.
I kept in
your
drawer?
My wardrobe. And then my father read the script. He liked it very much, but then he passed away 5 years ago, and that was the trigger for the whole adventure. So we present the script in a contest, and we won. So that meant that we had to shoot. It's my story. It's a story of a very important moment of my life, and as I was 10 years old, and it's I don't know. It's very. I think it's honest and with good intentions. although my mother
don't think the same.
No, then she thought that she comprehends my feelings. So, but was very revolutionary in my family, this movie.
We are very happy Anna is not crying right now, because she's been crying.
I used to cry in the presentation.
She used to cry a lot in all the presentations and all the Q&As, and now I think she overcame it.
I grew up.
I think I know myself. I cried a lot after I saw the film the first time, and every time I see the trailer, somehow I get very emotional. Is with that music, just for especially for the people who saw the film. Of course, your character is the eldest, right? And Emma. But do the other siblings, are those like the real ones, or you kind of combine characters, you invented a little bit? How much of fiction and reality stay in the story?
We are 6 siblings, but at this time, and the time of in the 90s, at that time we were
only 3.
We were 4, but coming from my mother and my father, we were 3.
Okay.
The 3 that I am telling in the story. Then my father had 3 kids more, but it's another. We have a lot of movies with my family, so
It's another spin-off.
It's the bad intentions. The next one.
Yeah.
The bad results.
Okay, so but then because I remember talking to you about this, and you said that in a way you combine the kind of things of couple of your siblings in the different characters. And of course I'm asking this because there is the biography, but then there is the script. And so how difficult was to sort of create those characters, and were times where you actually sort of invented things to make the story appealing or more understandable.
Yes, Mia, as a producer, I might say that the budget put Anna on the situation, so to make a lot of things synthesized. So she was almost obliged to make one of about 10 friends. So it was a very good friend, because it was the representation of another 10. So, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, ahora me olvidé la pregunta. Tenía la respuesta ahí. I think that I create or imagine only the scenes that Amanda is, where Amanda is not there. I think the whole dialogues were happened in the reality, because I didn't. I am not so a good writer. I only remember and put in the script, because that happened for me. That happened like this. Maybe a few scenes, like the father and the mother talking together alone, that I can imagine that could have been like this, but this is I wasn't there. But the other scenes, I think, I viví eso. I lived that. And my siblings too. Maybe Juana could be an Amanda too. Juana could be a Lala. Luli could be a Lala. Lola, I had I had my siblings. I am Anna. My sister is Juana. I had another sister, Lola, Luli, and everyone could be everyone. Anyone could be anyone, because we passed through the same things. I think Juana is the oldest of her mother. Lola is the youngest of her mother. Azucena is the oldest of her mother.
Everyone can be everyone. I said it the upside down.
Yeah.
So you have this script, and now you have to cast your own story, and I'm sure that poses a big challenge, because you have to find someone. I'm not saying that the person is going to play you, exactly you, but you know what you know exactly what you're looking. Where did you find the amazing cast that you have in your film, and especially the girls?
Yeah, I found Amanda in Instagram, on an Instagram video. She was playing a song with her father, and she plays the piano and sing and everything. Like I saw if she could act a little bit, she's in. So she was in with her sister, because the relationship was very important for being real in the movie, and she also helped us to find the father, and she went to the casting, and the fathers came through, and she acted with everyone. And when I saw her with Javier Drolas, I cried. So I knew. And
And also with Amanda came her little sister, that's Lala.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And her father. The father is very famous here, but the father stepped away, you know.
Juan Minujín.
Juan Minujín was there. He played the character of Guille, the second husband, the father-in-law of her.
The stepfather.
The stepfather of his own daughters. And he was very, very companion.
He was a good, I would say, a good buddy for the kids during the shooting. It was a little bit confusing at the same time. I think maybe by the end everybody was in therapy and just like trying to understand what's going on here.
As the producer, when Amanda stood up and said, I don't want to Juan Minujín to be the father because I don't feel comfortable with it. Because he was about to be the main character. That was a very difficult decision to accept, no? Because Juan Minujín is a very important actor, and the movie.
He was going to play
the father.
So then you switch.
Yeah.
So because she didn't want to act with him because she wanted to make her own experience, and that was the smartest decision. And we found another father that was great, Javier Drolas, and Nestor,
the friend.
Yes, the principal, because my father had a lot of principal friends, but the budget only
allowed to one. But but that's the beauty. I think that's the beauty of serendipity in when you're making films, anything in life. There is something that is sort of magic happens. And I think, yes, it was, a matter of funding, of budget, but at the same time, just having Nestor, that friend that is so lovable. I mean, it's such a pillar in the story. And, everybody is, but I think he adds, that measure of sort of a subconscious of
Nestor almost became the father too, but he was very, very excited.
Kind. Yeah,
he was very kind with the kids, and I said, "No, you are the uncle."
So one of the other things that I think is fantastic. This is a film set in the 90s, and the whole sort of production design in terms of making it look like it's happening in the 90s is amazing. But there is a component in the story that is all of the home videos, which are real home videos. And when we saw that combination between the fiction, but then when you see the films, and at the beginning you're like, who are they? Is this? And you start playing with that, but then it gets into this amazing, I think, narrative decision that blends beautifully fiction with real life. Could you tell us a little bit about how those home videos come up in the final edit? Where was your father always shooting those videos? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, my father used to film everything, the us and the streets, or in the car, the streets, and we always said to him, why are you why are you filming the street? Film us, or and no, you, but and all this footage was gold for us, because we couldn't set the streets like in the 90s, or the cars, or the buses, or the carteles,
the signs, the street signs,
and people without cell phones or things like that. So these shoots were gold. Then I used almost everything, but and the other footage with us, I didn't thought.
Yeah, it wasn't the initial idea to use the footage. We used the footage as the mainly as a process of healing, so to Anna get related to it, so and she can think and digest her father's death. That was the main idea of the project. But when we started shooting we shot the movie, and we had the footage as reference of art, of wardrobe department, of some locations, and so we went and we shoot the movie, and we had like a first cut when we just put the fiction we've shooted, and a very little pieces of the footage, and we realized that the footage gave us the feeling of the
home video. The
home video gave us the feeling that it was very difficult for us, for not only for the budget, but we had a lot of Anna wrote a lot of little details in the saying of the characters, in the wardrobe, in the little pieces of art that the art director found. So we felt that the fiction had a lot of pressure in representing and evoking that 90s. And when we started playing and putting more, we just needed from the fiction the parts that the actors were great, and the rest it was
whereas
claro, they.
But it's so fascinating what you're saying, because again, going back to at least the first time I saw the film, I thought when you shot the film that it was like, oh my God, she is actually using exactly the style. And I mean, like, it was such a great blend. And it's interesting to know, of course, you knew about that, archived footage or home videos, but it's a testament to an amazing job in all your team, because, it's one of the films that really sort of marries the real footage or the new footage with the archival footage or home videos in a way that
we gave the actors, also we gave an old camera to the actors, and they filmed in the scene
with an old
high-8 camera. So we have three kind of material.
And at the beginning, we were very anxious, so to work on the final texture of the image, so to be very accurate in how to represent VHS or high-8, or what to be footage archives, or what to be and then that initial idea started, like, we started enjoying the confusion between, well, this is original, this is made now, but try to be, and we started to play with that, and it was very interesting.
One other element that plays a big role, probably, I mean, it is embedded in the film, in the heart of the film, which is the music. Your father, had a record store, and music is really another character in all of you. Could you tell us a little bit more about that, and also your relationship with music, growing up? And
Yeah, we grew up with all kind of music. We heard everything, punk rock since we were 3, rock, records of I don't know, of everywhere, and in the original script there these songs of international bands were in the
script,
in the
in the
script,
original script.
in the script that I wasn't going to shoot.
See, so the problem was for
the problem was for another
one.
director if he would, but
the $15 million budget film,
yeah.
with original songs from big rock bands.
Yeah.
Axl Rose didn't want to give us November Rain.
No.
So we.
He don't even answer us, but we wrote.
Maybe now, maybe he at some point watches this, and maybe he's going to be
like. He could be here. He could be here.
You want the song? I can give it to you now.
But my father, in his 40s, he began to compose. He created a band. His band, Sorry, was the band. I was part of the band. My sister was part of the band. My brother, his friends were part of the band, and he recorded 4 records. So I used the 3 songs of him, and a lot of songs of my brother, and music of bands in Argentina too, because they talk about the 90s, these songs. So they were very important to use. But it was very emotional to see the movie and the ending of the movie with my dad's songs, and the beach scene with the home videos with the first song my brother wrote alone. So I think that was very, very nice, very nice. It was another part that I enjoyed a lot to do, and it's the story. My father could be would be very happy to if I say here that you can hear his records in Spotify. Sorry, 1, 2, 3 y 4. And
yes, he would say yes, the movie. Okay,
the movie,
very
okay.
Very nice, the movie. But you
but
can
listen to the Spotify. And you got permission from some big, rock musicians from Argentina, and in an amazing, big names in Latin American rock. Who said yes? Use my music.
Well, Charlie Garcia, that is a producer, a producer of rock in Argentina.
No, I don't know. It's a producer. It's not in English.
It's probably the founding father of rock in Argentina and Latin America. I mean, he was part of some of the most iconic rock bands.
He gave us a
70s
song,
and 80s, and
Calamaro, two punk bands that were clients of my father in the record store. They remembered my father, so they said, yeah, use our songs. We are very happy to collaborate with you. So it was like a dream for me to use these songs that everybody knows in my country, and only the big films or movie can use. So I was very insistent.
Yeah, and I made what we call an aunt work with these guys, because she was calling and calling. Hello, I want my man and my father, and I sent you this. Okay.
And nobody can say no to Ana, because she's very charming, right? Right, Joaquin. So you are a couple in real life. Let's reveal that to the audience.
Yes.
If they haven't seen
We are
that.
not a quarantine breaker.
But you decided to board the first feature for Anna. It was going to be your first feature as a producer, having worked before in many other things. What was it from you? I mean, like, why you wanted to work in this project? I mean, of course you love Anna, etc. But what was it about the project that you were, okay, I'll do it?
I think that finally it was a very egoist decision, because I thought that if my partner can do this, I would be a lot of it would be very good for me too, because she will evolve and she will grow and she will and that will come back to me, and that was what happened. Because
so you were selfish.
I absolutely
selfish.
Yeah, I was thinking about me all the time. Yeah, and it works. Because the aim of the project was that we that Anna can work and can establish as a director. Also, it was one of the other goals, not only the personal stuff, but she as a professional. So to take over and develop a personal project, it was like one of the goals of the project. And having a project of our own, of being together in the same project, made us to be a lot of time together, and that was another goal of the project.
Without a divorce.
Yeah. Yes, unfortunately. And that's it. And now we have our expectations very high also, because we managed to be here talking with you and as this very glad moments. So we are looking forward to next projects and continue to be together in the good and in the bad moments.
With the good intentions and bad intentions.
Yeah.
Anna, you very quickly mentioned what happened when you show it to your mom. But what did your own kids said when they watched this film? Because of course this is really a beautiful coming of age story, a story when you're like a preteen in this case, and and life puts you in front of one of those big moments in life. You will know later that there are many more difficult moments in life, but this is like one of the first. So what did they say when they kind of saw a little bit? I don't know. I'm just curious.
My daughter wanted to act in the movie.
We made an original trailer. Our kids are the same age of the kids of the movie, and we made a trailer with them, so they were like anxious with it. And another thing is, it was the script was called Julia,
like my daughter,
because the script was born before Julia was born. And the character was called Julia, and
my daughter wanted to keep the name, but my therapist said that I should change the name because that was my story, not hers, and blah blah blah.
I don't know if she was right, but well,
she's right, but well, and I hope my daughter don't make a movie about me as a mother. Because the parents, all parents make the things with good intentions, but with mistakes always. So she understood what I've done, She was very happy to be in the San Sebastian Film Festival with us, and she asked questions, and she became a good friend of Amanda. She was very happy, and she now wants to be an actress. So I don't know.
The problems are starting.
Yeah.
Well, now you're getting into your parents' position because they're becoming teens, and that's gonna be complicated. I just want to do a little shout out to your other producer, Juan Pablo Miller, who couldn't join us. The only reason he's not here tonight is because he's actually flying back to Argentina from the Dominican Republic. But I just want to mention him because he's really an amazing support of especially first-time directors. He produced films like Las Acacias de Pablo Giorgelli, The Sleep, How Most Things Work, El Pampero, Natural Sciences, and many more. Now Sleepwalkers of Paula. She's not a first-timer, Paula Hernandez. And he, boarded this project. Can you tell us something about Juan Pablo? So he's, with us, even if he's flying and he's not part of the conversation.
He's a friend of us.
Yes.
Now is very supportive with women too, with first features of women. He falls in love with a script, and he makes everything to shoot and to go far with the movie. He's like
it was he was very supportive. We were the three of us because we have another producer, that's Juana Garcia Blasha, that's Anna's sister, that the four of us, because Anna was a producer too. He was the only one that at first we were the three of us. Neither of the three had made a movie before, so we just were needing someone with some experience that can answer some of the many questions that occur on the road. And we luckily met Juan Pablo, that it's a very pure heart, an incredible and unselfish person with his lots of knowledge about the filmmaking in general. So it was
very generous.
Yeah, we learned a lot, and we are very thanks to him.
And he's going to be with us in any
second movie.
In the second,
you're going is not going to get away. So since we are talking about a little bit about the future, and before we go to the future, Joaquin, can you tell us a little bit about your line of work, because you do amazing stuff too. I mean, and I love this opportunity that this medium give us to learn a little bit more about everybody. So what kind of audiovisual content do you create?
I've worked for a lot of years in publicity as a director, and I work almost from 2000 to 2010 as a advertising director. And then I founded a production company called NOS that explores new ways and new formats and new supports for audiovisual content, mainly live sets, mainly public stages interventions, such as very big buildings. We but we use lots of different techniques as mappings, as VR, as we are like develop a company that's very curious in looking new ways and new supports of media content. So
and it seems like probably now it's a great time for that, since a lot of the stuff, and And going into that, and I don't know if you want to say maybe a couple of things about a mini series that you actually shot during the pandemic. You know, a little bit about that and what was that experience, because of course, you know, this in especially for people who are watching from, you know, afar, Argentina, you know, got into quarantine very early, like literally like in March, and it was really, it's still, you know, very restrictive. So that was a challenge.
Technically ended last week, so it was almost 7 months, and yes, as obviously we couldn't shot we couldn't film nothing, so we developed like a project so to shoot. It was Ana was a director, I was a producer also. It was called Terapia en Cuarentena, so it was like a
therapy in quarantine.
Therapy in quarantine. So it was a couple of ¿cómo se dice? Sessions, therapy sessions between a therapist and its patient that we shot with cell phones. So the actors received like a box, a sterilized box with everything that they needed. So the actors were their own cameras and their own light directors. So we sent them lights and we sent them like pieces of art, and we get set it and we shot the online with a Zoom where they have the session, and then we received all that material edited and broadcasted in the public TV.
And how was that, the whole experience? I mean, aside from stressful or, you know, all the other things, how was, you know, the feeling of actually producing something, you know, like astronauts? Like,
it was very interesting for me. It was very interesting because I've been witness for very different production design, so how to generate content, and this was and it's evolving every time. It's every time changing. Technology pushes the production designs very far away. The quarantine and the restrictions of the quarantine were very very strict, so that need very creative solutions. So we're still thinking about it because it was very it generates a lot of conflicts, like syndical conflicts, no?
Ooh,
because suddenly the syndicates,
so the unions
start calling us, and how come that the actor is their own camera? Is there you don't need a camera, you don't need a DPO, DOP, you don't need like assistance, how come? And
well,
it was a little bit tense in a moment that the whole industry was freezed. So we were the only ones that were working, and
interesting.
It's still
the good intentions again. You know, sometimes the good intentions have, you know, some sort of bad response for some.
Yeah.
So we're, you know, about to wrap, but then this is a good time to segue to your future projects. If you have some or not, if you want to, you know.
You have too much, but we don't know
how they will grow,
or which one to do first, because we don't know when we can shoot again. My next fiction will be shoot in Paraguay, so we can't go to Paraguay yet. And I have also a documentary project. I can work at home in this project, and I have another script that is the continue of the
like a spin-off,
like a spin-off of The Good Intentions 30 years later. I don't know.
But it's interesting because when the world premiere of The Good Intentions was at Toronto Film Festival, and then we went to San Sebastian and to Biarritz, where we participate of the market forum, industry forum, with the new project that is called Kurusu. And we went there and we started talking about how to do it and how to apply to funds and and suddenly, due also to this experience that we've told you about, that the quarantine therapy in quarantine, that show us that we can generate content with a very, 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 very little production design. It really shocked us because we suddenly realized that we can do with a very small team, we can do a lot. So we are thinking how to take forward and how to develop the next project.
Interesting. I think what you said is really, really interesting, because definitely budgets are going to be reviewed and analyzed differently after all this is said and done. And like some of the reasons is it's clear that some stuff can be done maybe without so much of stuff around. Of course there are films and depending on the project, etc. But so the film has been premiered in Argentina, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And it was before the pandemic.
In December. No?
In December the 19th, we have the premiere here in Argentina, and we've been almost 3 months in the cinemas, and then we started going to Malva. That's a very nice cinema theater here, and
till the
COVID-19.
Oh, okay. So it really worked, and the reactions were cool.
We were supposed to continue a lot of time.
That's fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
I have to say, of course, I could talk to you guys. We have to disclose that we are friends by now.
But we love you, Eve. We love you, Eve.
And then to me, it's really it's nice, but at the same time, it's like, I want to, why don't we go biking or do something together? Of course, geographically, we're in different parts of the world, but hopefully we'll be doing that soon. Anyway, in the name of Cine Latino at Home and the Minneapolis-St. Paul Film Society, we want to thank you, Ana and Joaquin, for joining us today, for spending this time with us and with other people watching us in the world, and hopefully who knows, by the time you do the next one, we'll be able to host you in person in Minneapolis.
I want to be a volunteer next year.
Be careful what you wish to, for, because remember, we have people behind the scenes listening to this, and they will take your word.
There, so
we want you as a volunteer, and we want every technical thing that Joaquin does with all this interesting outside interventions and this building thing that he works on.
Now we have to make another movie to be the next year or the next.
Well, it is what it is.
Okay.
You have to sweat, for getting into a festival. It's not for granted. You have to make it. You have to make us cry again. I mean, that's bottom line.
Yeah.
And laugh, because that's the other thing. So I want to remind the people who are able to watch the films through Thursday and at mspfilm.org that they can vote for the films they're watching. And again, Ana and Joaquín, muchas gracias. Como siempre, un placer enorme tenerlos en casa. Realmente, esto es
Nosotros también. Te extrañamos, Eve.
We love
Hasta
you.
pronto y nos estamos viendo, ojalá muy prontito.
Dale, beso
Thank you.
enorme. Ay, qué lindo.